Hello, everyone. This is reading practice for ACAN pre-grade 2nd exam. I hope that you recognize me because you've done some practice with listening and with fill-in-the-blank questions before. Today, let's practice reading. I know reading in English is very difficult, so today I will go through a couple of difficult vocabulary words. I will paraphrase the reading to maybe make it easier to understand. And of course, I will go through the questions at the end. Okay, first, a couple of difficult vocabulary words. Today, we are doing a reading called White Rhinoceros Hero. So a rhinoceros is a difficult vocabulary word. This is a large African animal with a horn on its nose. It's mostly found in Africa or, of course, at zoos. We sometimes, in English, we shorten it to rhino. But in this case, the word I will say most is rhinoceros. Rhinoceros. The next phrase is special powers. Special powers is usually associated with magic. If you believe this pencil has special powers, maybe it can cure illness, or it can write very wonderful essays by itself, but something magical. All right, and the other word that might be a little unusual, a little difficult, is reserve. A reserve is a place where animals or plants or nature in general can be protected. So of course, an animal reserve is for the animals to protect them. A nature reserve is for nature in general, for maybe endangered plants and endangered animals together. All right, so those are the 3 vocabulary words that might be a little challenging. All right. Before I read the passage, I'm going to read the questions and the 4 possible answers. As I'm reading the question, start to think about the different answers, and then when I go back and read the passage itself, it will be easier for you to understand which answer is correct. Okay. Question 34. Why were white rhinoceroses being killed? 1. People thought that killing rhinoceroses would give them special powers. 2. People wanted a part of them so that they could make medicine. 3. Their meat could be used to feed a large number of people. 4. They caused many problems and killed a number of people. Question 35. Ian Player began to work at the Imphilosy Game Reserve because he 1. Was worried about how few wild animals were left in South Africa. 2. Enjoyed working outdoors and riding his boat along a river. 3. Could live in South Africa and join more boat races there. 4. Wanted a chance to play with many different kinds of animals. Question 36. What did Player do at the Imphilosy Game Reserve? 1. He taught people in the area the best way to hunt white rhinoceroses. 2. He learned special skills to take care of sick white rhinoceroses. 3. He started a program with zoos around the world to save white rhinoceroses. 4. he sold 430 white rhinoceroses to get money to protect the animals in the reserve. All right, last question, number 37. Player taught local people that 1. White rhinoceroses were used to save many people's lives. 2. There were many ways to stop rhinoceroses from killing farm animals. 3. They could make money if tourists came to see the white rhinoceroses. 4. People could use other types of animals to make medicine. Okay, those are the 4 questions and, of course, the answers that I want you to think about while I'm reading the passage. If you can already guess the answer without my explanation, great, you're already set for the test. But, of course, if you need my explanation, I'll get to that toward the end of this video. Okay, now it's time to read the passage. Listen carefully as I read through, and if there's anything that you don't understand at any point, you can stop the video, rewind, and listen one more time. Okay, here we go. White Rhinoceros Hero. The white rhinoceros lives in southern Africa and is one of the largest animals in the world. In the past, a lot of people believed that rhinoceros horns had special powers, so the horns were used for medicine. As a result, many white rhinoceroses were killed. Scientists were worried that all the white rhinoceroses in the world would die. However, a man named Ian Player worked to save the white rhinoceros. Player was born in South Africa in 1927. He loved sports, and in 1951 he took part in a special boat race. Although he traveled over 120 kilometers along a river, there were fewer wild animals than he thought he would see. He decided to do something to protect the animals living in South Africa. A year later, he started working at a national park called the Imfolozi Game Reserve, where he looked after wild animals. The Imfolozi Game Reserve was set up in 1890 because people were worried about the small number of white rhinoceroses that were left. When Player arrived in 1952, there were only about 430 white rhinoceroses, and hunters were still killing them. Player began a breeding program called Operation Rhino, with zoos around the world. Thanks to the zoo's hard work, the number of white rhinoceroses quickly went up. Some of the young rhinoceroses were returned to the park. At first, many local people did not like Player's program. Farmers often said that rhinoceroses killed their cows, sheep, and other animals, so they lost money. However, Player showed them that saving white rhinoceroses could help humans too. He encouraged tourists to visit Imfolozi to see the rhinoceroses and other wild animals. As a result, more and more people began to pay money to go on tours, stay in hotels, and eat at restaurants in the area. This has helped people understand the value of white rhinoceroses. Okay, that was the passage, word for word, how you see it on the practice exam. You can see at the bottom of the page, there are 2 difficult vocabulary words, horns and breeding, that they give the Japanese definition for, or the Japanese word. So for words like this, if you can see it in Japanese, horns is tsume, and breeding is honchoku. So you can see these words, and you don't have to worry about knowing the English definition, because you have it in Japanese. Okay, now I'm going to paraphrase, put into my own words, each paragraph. So I'm going to go paragraph 1, paragraph 2, 3, and then 4. Hopefully, this will help you understand the content a little bit better. Okay. Paragraph 1. White rhinoceroses live in the south part of Africa and are one of the biggest animals in the world. Many years ago, people thought that rhinoceros horns are magic, so they were used as medicine. Because of this, many white rhinoceroses were killed. Scientists thought that maybe white rhinoceroses would disappear, but Ian Player did his best to save the white rhinoceros. Okay, that was paragraph 1, giving some background into the white rhinoceros and talking about one of the reasons why rhinoceroses are beginning to be endangered. People thought that the horn was magic, that it could be used as medicine, used to help people, so they were killing the white rhinoceros to get the horn. But Ian Player did his best to help the rhinoceros. Okay, paragraph 2. Player was born in 1927 in South Africa. Because he loved sports, he participated in a special boat race in 1951. He believed that he would see many wild animals during the race because it was 120 kilometers long, but he did not see very many. After the race, he wanted to help the animals and protect those animals in South Africa. 1 year after the race, he began working at the Imfolozi Game Reserve, a national park where he helped wild animals. This paragraph is giving some more background as to who Player is, why he wanted to help the animals, and when he began working at the Imfolozi Game Reserve. So this is another background paragraph, but specifically about Player instead of rhinoceroses in general. Okay, paragraph 3. The Imfolozi Game Reserve was created in 1890 because people wanted to protect the small number of white rhinoceroses that were still alive. In 1952, when Player came to South Africa, only about 430 white rhinoceroses were left, and that small number was still being hunted. Player started a program to breed the white rhinoceroses, called Operation Rhino, and worked with zoos all over the world. Because of assistance from the zoos, the amount of white rhinoceroses went up quickly. Some of the young rhinoceroses went back to the Imfolozi Game Reserve. All right, so this paragraph talks about the specific program that Player started, his breeding program to help the white rhinoceroses, and it talks about that he was actually able to help them. So this paragraph talks about more specific information about the assistance that Player and the zoos were giving to the rhinoceroses. Okay, last paragraph, paragraph number 4. In the beginning, local Africans did not like the program that Player created. Farmers said that rhinoceroses kill the farm animals like cows and sheep, so the farmers lose money because of this. But Player demonstrated that saving white rhinoceroses is good for humans too. He got tourists to visit Imfolozi in order to see the white rhinoceroses and the other animals. Because of this, more people paid money to go on tours, stay at hotels, and eat at restaurants around the nature reserve. more people understand how valuable white rhinoceroses are now. All right. So this last paragraph, it talks about how the local people, they weren't happy at first because white rhinoceroses sometimes kill the farm animals, which of course is bad for the farmers because they're losing these valuable animals. But players showed how white rhinoceroses are good for the economy. They're good. They bring many tourists in. It's good to boost the economy in the area because they stay at hotels, they take tours, and they eat at restaurants. So all of these things bring in more money for these local farmers. All right. So that is how I would paraphrase those 4 paragraphs. But those are my words. Of course, there are different ways to paraphrase as well. So hopefully you'll challenge yourself and you'll try to paraphrase these paragraphs in your own words. All right, last part of this video, time for the questions. Question 34. Why were white rhinoceroses being killed? 1. People thought that killing rhinoceroses would give them special powers. 2. People wanted a part of them so that they could make medicine. 3. Their meat could be used to fill a large number of people. 4. They caused many problems and killed a number of people. All right, usually for these questions, you're going paragraph by paragraph. The first question will correspond with the first paragraph, or at least the answer will be in the first part of the passage. And yes, you can see in the second sentence, in the past, a lot of people believed that rhinoceros horns had special powers, so the horns were used for medicine. The horn is a part of the rhinoceros. So people wanted a part of the rhinoceros, not the whole rhinoceros, just that horn, because they thought that it was magical. It had special powers. So the answer is number 2. People wanted a part of them so that they could make medicine. They wanted the horn so that they could make medicine from this. All right, question 35. Ian Player began to work at the Imphilosy Game Reserve because he, 1. was worried about how few wild animals were left in South Africa. 2. enjoyed working outdoors and riding his boat along a river. 3. could live in South Africa and join more boat races there. 4. wanted a chance to play with many different kinds of animals. All right, remember I mentioned that paragraph 2 was about Ian Player's background, why he decided to help the white rhinoceroses in South Africa. So you're going to be going to paragraph 2. During his boat race, it talks about in the third sentence, although he traveled over 120 kilometers along a river, there were fewer wild animals than he thought he would see. The next sentence, he decided to do something to protect the animals living in South Africa. So because he didn't see very many wild animals, because he thought that he would see more wild animals, he decided to start working at the Imphilosy Game Reserve. So the answer is number 1. He was worried about how few wild animals were left in South Africa. So this is the reason that he wanted to work at the game reserve. All right, question 36. What did Player do at the Imphilosy Game Reserve? 1. He taught people in the area the best way to hunt white rhinoceroses. 2. He learned special skills to take care of sick white rhinoceroses. 3. He started a program with zoos around the world to save white rhinoceroses. 4. He sold 430 white rhinoceroses to get money to protect the animals in the reserve. All right, back up, paragraph number 3. So you can see toward the end of that paragraph, player began a breeding program called Operation Rhino with zoos around the world. And because of this program, the number of white rhinoceroses quickly went up. So because he started this program to help the white rhinoceroses, the number went up, and this was what he did at the Imphalosi Game Reserve. So the answer is number 3. He started a program with zoos around the world to save white rhinoceroses. And this specific program had to do with breeding. So helping the white rhinoceroses to have more babies to create more rhinoceroses in the future. Okay. Last question, number 37. Player taught local people that 1. White rhinoceroses were used to save many people's lives. 2. There were many ways to stop rhinoceroses from killing farm animals. 3. They could make money if tourists came to see the white rhinoceroses. 4. People could use other types of animals to make medicine. Okay, back up to our last paragraph. Paragraph number 4. In the middle of that paragraph, however, players showed them being the local people, that saving white rhinoceroses could help humans too. Then skipping that next sentence. As a result, more and more people began to pay money to go on tours, stay in hotels, and eat at restaurants in the area. So many tourists were going to South Africa to see the white rhinoceroses. So player was able to show the local people it's good for the economy. They can earn more money. So the answer is number 3. Player taught local people that they could make money if tourists came to see the white rhinoceroses. All right, that's it. Those are the 4 questions and the 4 answers to those questions. I hope that after I read the questions the first time, you were able to get many of the answers correct when I went back through the passage. I hope that you were able to come up with all 4 right answers, but even if you didn't get it the first time, I hope that you now understand the correct answer and why each answer is correct. Again, if you need to, you can always go back, listen 1 more time, 2 more times, 10 more times. It's up to you. Good luck with this test. Good luck with the reading part of ACAN pre-grade 2nd exam. And I hope to see you later for ACAN grade 2. All right, good luck with studying. See you later.